Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again. I saw Mr. Dabbing Llamas in the chat already before we even started. But welcome, Mr. Dabbing Llamas. Welcome, Gamble. Welcome to everybody else who is watching. We're here on board with Andam doing the he's the second car on track for a first lap of practice. 10 minutes practice with 8 minutes left. 15 minutes of quali and then a 90 minutes of racing on Kyalami in the South African country. Yeah, here we are. And 90 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. I have not been drinking today. I will start drinking in a minute. I wanted to be as fresh as possible for you guys so you can all hear me deteriorate. No, just kidding, just kidding. We will be starting fresh today. We are starting fresh, following Endem. 90 minutes of Kyalami with what I saw online on the website. 40 drivers signed up for today with 31 on the grid at the moment. So very curious if we're gonna see a full lobby, if people will be dripping in. If not, as I always say, well, make sure you are on a waiting list, or if you're not seeing 40 people on track when quali is underway, I would go into the Discord and ask about what's up with the not filled places. The pits, probably one pit stop, and I'm guessing we can see a couple of guys pitting after 20-30 minutes, but I think most pit stops will be happening between 40 minutes or the 60 between the 60 minute 55 minute mark and the 40-35 minute mark. Somewhere around there we will see most pit stops happening, but some guys might be going very long. You never know. I saw something in the Discord, Llamas. You need a better seat, from what I read. 90 minutes on a wooden seat. I don't know what kind of seat you're having, but if you're sitting on an old wooden kitchen seat from the 1980s, I can understand you're not going to be driving 90 minutes. And how is everybody? How was everybody's day? Did we have a good day, good Saturday? Did you do something while we're just watching practice? Now we have some time for private conversations. Not much happening at the moment, no qualifying yet. So I hope everybody had a great day. Did you have a drink? Did you have something nice to eat? Did you go out for dinner? Did you sit in the sun? Did you swim around? What was your day? Instead of talking about my day. We see Fezzy Binks, and I do have a map downloaded today for the corners on Kyalami. Midday for you, David. Midday for you. That doesn't sound well. It doesn't sound too awful. It doesn't sound very well as well either, man. So I do hope you're doing okay. I will try and brighten up your day a little bit. Over here they call me everybody's sunshine. No, 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 no. I'm not everybody's sunshine. I might be a little sunshine for somebody, but yeah, not everybody's. Definitely not everybody's. As we see Fezzy Binks with a 42.3, and I did see in practice and them doing a 40.0. So that's up for grabs, I guess. That's what I like about these lobbies. You see a lot of people coming in early. I like to get into the lobby, the practice lobby, before it resets and just look around. What are the times? And I do have something to talk about during practice and a little bit of a view of what everybody is gonna be driving time-wise. Of course, I did see my my broadcasting example. I won't say he's a mentor, but I do like the way he commentates on the GTMR races. Make sure you're gonna be following Mr. Marshall Moss, the same Twitch account as his gamertag and as his Discord name. Mr. Marshall Moss, don't forget to subscribe or follow him on Twitch, because he will be the one giving us a proper broadcasting for tomorrow's GTMR race. So while Moss is doing the broadcast tomorrow, I won't be driving, or I will be driving, I think, and I won't be broadcasting. So that's a little switcheroo we're gonna be doing. He's given me, no, I'm just kidding. But I was gonna say he's given me the burden to entertain you guys all week, and he's gonna take the perfect Sunday for himself, but that's all just a little banter, of course. But we do sometimes talk about little stuff, not too much, just little stuff. He's busy, I'm busy. I'm not his neighbor. I'm not living in the States, so. Oh, Scotty, your game completely. Well, you better have it now than in quali or on the grid, Scotty. So restart that game up and get back into the lobby. You're already back, I see. So that's good. That's good. Better now than later. And what is the time? We see Nin Richard 40.9. I think he did a 40.7, 40.6 in practice before the reset. And there we have Endem with a 40.4. Also about 4/10 slower than his fastest time in practice. Of course, we see a couple of guys. Connection failure. Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go again. Such a nice update we had. It's gonna be refreshing till we're bored. So I'm gonna say it again, like we said yesterday. If there's not gonna be any racing, we're just gonna be making this a TED Talk hour of broadcasting.
Green light.
What? We're back in. We're back in. And I'm wondering, did everybody have a
Green light. Go, go, go.
No, not everybody had a but here we see Mr. Farooqan first on the track. So as usual, we're gonna be following the first guy around for his warm-up lap, and then for the second lap we're gonna hop on board, and then when his lap is finished, the first hot lap, we will be gonna be taking a look at the split and see what the guys are gonna be driving. So we know Endem did a 40.4, Nin Richard did a 40.9, I believe, and after that our game shut it up. But I was gonna talk you through all the guys on the grid. We have Fezzy Binks, Farooqan, we have of course Nin Richard. Daryl, I believe, is South African himself, if I'm not mistaken, in the Discord. We have Darkblade, we have Mega Daddy. Well, that's a name you want to be calling out when shit hits the fan. Mega Daddy just caused this or that. That's the one we're gonna be remembering. We have of course Endem, Ale Ferrari, Digi Deliverance, NSR Styles, Mr. Marshall Moss himself, Xbox Live player Manguela Severa, Mansa Croder. We see Hushed Web, Pamuknai, Cultus, Gamble Jungle, Dead Drop, Will Friedman is in here as well, and Kyle Williams. Then we have Tony Dimes, EMP, Dave Saipos, and Skinny Boy. So if Mega Daddy and Skinny Boy are gonna be having a incident on track, that's gonna be great for Discord headlines, I guess. Here we go. Farooqan already on his way in the second lap. .5. That's what we're gonna be looking at. 40.0, 40.5, something between that, or maybe even a. I don't know if it's ever been done on XCL, but I did see NDM driving a 40.0. So will we see a 39 today? It's gonna be the question. It's a 14 on 14 temp. That's a pretty reasonable temp to be driving 90 minutes. And the lobby, I don't know if you guys are seeing it on the Twitch, but the lobby is being a little bit weird, switching back and forth sometimes. We did see a 41.3, so where is Fazzy Binks? Going into the second TV cam just to have a little bit of a better overview. Fazzy Binks coming up on the last corner of Kyalami. Endem 40.0 for Endem. That's a very quick lap. Yesterday he didn't have a clean lap on Spa. He had a good battle with Gipfel, but yesterday wasn't Endem's day, so probably today he's feeling or he's preparing himself for a redemption drive probably. But behind Endem, very interesting. We see 1.3, 1.3, 1.3, 1.7, and then a whole lot of 2.4s, 2.8. And that's what we like to see. A competitive lobby. With Fazzy Binks letting everybody go. I think we are gonna be switching to Mr. Marshall Moss, who just passed Fazzy Binks. And that was almost a commentator's curse moment. As soon as we switch, Marshall was feeling the nerves. Feeling the nerves. Will Friedman takes second place with a 140.9. 141.0 possibly. Oh, very. The BMW was just on the exit line. You can go wide a little bit over there, and he was just, well, I won't say completely on the racing line, but a little bit in the way of Marshall over there. But, Marshall doing a 141.3 at the moment, right in that group of 3 guys 1.3, 1.4 behind. As you see, Farukhan doing a 1.2, just a tenth faster. But yeah, who is gonna, if Endem has a second with 8 minutes to go, I'm very curious what Friedman is gonna do, what Fezzy Binks is gonna be pulling out of the head, and Marshall himself is a very quick driver as well. Then we have of course Mr. Kyle Williams, what I saw, exclusive driver. So what are these guys gonna be doing? It's good to see though. We're going, and this is what I always say, and I might be repeating myself for the people who are watching regularly, but what we do like to see is gaps of just tenths, 2 tenths per position. That's almost always a good start to a race of 90 minutes or 30 minutes even. A good competitive field, no matter if you're at the front, if you're at the back, at least you're not gonna be having a lonely race. As we see Will Friedman improving by 4 tenths, just half a second behind Endem now. Kyle Williams up to 10th place. Gamble P8. And here we have Krizo currently driving a 142.9, 143.0. Last time I raced here myself in the GTMR, I was well, we had a little battle with I believe he was in the 42s then, 42.0, 42 lows. But we were starting to have a battle while I sadly made a mistake and Krizo drove on. But we were getting ready to battle each other. Very nice guy. Also watches the stream a lot. I had some Discord communication with him. Very genuine, very nice guy. Almost, or not almost, what I can say and what I can see is a very fair driver. Here we have Tony Dimes. No clean lap yet, so we're gonna be following him around, see if he's gonna be putting in a clean lap. We're going on board, so hold on to your ears, hold on to your headsets. Here we go. And Tony Dimes is having a little tea break for himself, I guess. With EMP just starting his lap. Or EMP, I mean Digi Deliverance, starting his, well, halfway, but he started his lap and is currently 4.2 behind, running a 144.2 if Endam is not yet in the 39s. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, 39.8. 39.8 for Endam, having not done a clean lap yesterday on Spa. He is here for vengeance. We have Friedman and Moss almost the exact time, running 40.4s. 40.4, so that's gonna be exciting. Moss, like I said, the GTMR broadcaster, the one you wanna be watching tomorrow, is a very fast guy himself. I don't know if I should make this joke because it might be coming back to me, but He might be at an age he's in need of a walking stick, but when he's sitting down in a rig, he can definitely perform. You didn't hear that, Moss. If you're gonna be watching back this stream, you didn't hear that. We're gonna edit that out, yeah? No worries. We will be going to Mr. EMP. I was already talking about him a little bit. Here we have EMP. Normally a pretty solid top 15. Are you back? Are you back from holidays, Will Friedman, or? Because I just came back too a couple of days ago. Oh, this afternoon. And where did you go? Did you say in France? Did you go outside of France? Did you grab a couple of drinks on the, what is it there by Saint-Tropez, the Côte d'Azur, something like that? Near Germany. Ah, that's good though. That's good. I was thinking maybe you went to Monaco to ask Max Verstappen to have a drive in his Valkyrie or something like that, you know? Did you go perhaps to Nancy, Metz area, Saarbrücken, Saarlouis, Luxembourg area, Strasbourg? More towards, my guess, more towards Basel then. Yeah, Saarbrücken. Yeah. I used to. I haven't done that in a year though, but I used to sail on the Moselle. So and the Saar. So that's close to France. The furthest I've been in France is close to Nancy, I believe. Frouard, Port de Frouard. Close to Nancy on the Moselle. Moselle. Oh, nice. Yep, very nice. Well, my so if I'm gonna be speaking German to you, Friedman, you can understand me, or should I speak petit peu parler français? Petit peu, eh? Not a single word in German. Yeah. That's more of a well, like the Dutch, the Dutch, the Belgians, the Luxembourg people, the Swiss, the Austrians. It's all German. But yeah, the only French I know, Friedman, is for calling the écluses, the locks, the locks on the Moselle. I can call them in French, and that's about it. Yeah. The younger or the generation now is English. The English is pretty good. The older generations are well, I won't say a pain in the ass, but they are not so good with their languages. I do know that, Friedman. I do know that. When I was younger and I was sailing in France, I would go alone to the supermarket. What's it called? Cora in France, and I didn't know a single word of French. So the only thing I asked was "Parlez-vous anglais?" And all I had was a no. No, no English. As we have qualifying coming to an end, everybody. We have just two cars left on track with the last one. I believe it's the 721 if I'm not mistaken, the 790. It's the 721, but quali is over. Then we have Endam in P1, Will Friedman, who's also in the chat, in P2, Mr. Marshall in P3, and then we have our resident South African Daryl in P4, with Farooqan finishing off the top 5. Very good, Friedman. Yep, very good. Oh, here we go. Gamble, also French. I might need to change the language of this. I'm gonna study tomorrow, guys. I'm gonna study French tomorrow, and I won't remember a thing of what I learned in the morning. Yeah, Endem had a real unlucky race yesterday. He didn't get a clean lap in qualifying on Spa, together with Gipfel, and they started from around P25, P26, I believe. There was a massive incident going into Eau Rouge and Radion, and they got caught up in the chaos, and they were driving well up through the field, and it's difficult to see the liveries, Friedman, but yeah, I will do it as usual. But I think the lobby is messed up, ladies and gentlemen, because if we're looking at the stream, we are I don't know what they did. It might be that we're gonna be just making a short run up to the start finish, or yeah, we will be restarting again, I guess. What are we doing? We're just gonna be checking it out, and I think it's just gonna be a last couple of corners drive to the start finish line, and then it's gonna be green. Not a full lap of warming up. So we're gonna be starting cold tires, ladies and gentlemen. Cold tire start, and we're gonna be trying to capture the chaos. And Will Friedman is in the chat, in the race. I believe last time I saw Will Friedman, I think it was the GTMR race, I believe. I was in too. That Will Friedman went a little short into the second right-hand corner to hit the bump, and so that was just a incident. That's why I always say you can be fast, you can be very good, but everybody makes mistakes. No matter if you're a top exclusive driver, if you're always giving it your all, or you're trying to get faster and in the back of the field, everybody makes mistakes, and everybody is here to learn. As Scotty says, not the quality he wanted, but yeah, we're having a short run up to the green lights today, ladies and gentlemen. So no big warm-up lap. Everybody is gonna try and get a little bit of heat in those tires, which is nearly impossible. But we're gonna be getting green lights, and we're gonna go in a helicam, of course, to follow everything that's gonna happen. We're preparing to go back to P10 immediately, and then I'm gonna try and jump to P20 as quickly as possible.
Green light, go.
Green lights, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go, with Friedman having a monster start, but Endam is on the inside line. Letting each other live, but we do see everybody. Oh, a little incident. I think that's the only incident at the moment that we just saw. A little incident, but for the rest of it, We have everybody. Oh, whoa, this is gonna cause some chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Big pile up. Big pile up. Yep, and it's the thing to remember is, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 90-minute race. I mean, I do know it's a race and it's not a parade, but it's 90 minutes. Like, give yourself some breathing room. It's I do know you want to make up positions. You do want to give it your all and do the best you can. That's what everybody wants, of course. But we're gonna be going to Endam, and we're gonna be going into the TV cam and follow these guys around. We have Endam P1, Will Friedman P2, Marshall in P3, and Daryl still in P4. And we had, from what I believe was Farooqan in P5, who has fallen back. But we have a group very close together here. We see gaps of half a second, 3/10, 5/10, but we're gonna be sticking here with Will Friedman for the moment, I think. If Endam is gonna be creating a bigger gap, we're gonna be going back to the field to NSR and Kyle Williams. We might as well do that now. With NSR followed by Kyle Williams and Fezzy Binks. These guys will be having a battle. We're gonna go to the middle guy so we can follow everything a little bit better. As you see, a lot of guys. It's a train. There's gonna be a train. It's not F1. It's not a DRS train, but we see also Gamble coming into the mix. We see Mega Daddy coming into the mix. So a nice little train existing over here. Both Ferrari drivers, it's almost identical to Spa. Two drivers of the same team in the same car, and just a driver separating them. With Williams going a little bit wide, and Fezzy Binks have a better second corner, coming up on the third one with a little bit more speed, but Williams stays in front. Thing we want to watch, we see Marshall Moss being followed by Daryl and Nin Richards just 4/10 behind. But these guys, Kyle Williams, Fezzy Binks, Mega Daddy and Gamble are the four-man train we want to see now. And I wish we could we're gonna give you a glimpse of Fezzy Binks and what he's looking at, what he's doing to try and create a gap for himself, but they're not gonna be doing crazy stuff. You don't want to get into the team Discord and say, hey mate, I made a wrong decision. We're on board with Fezzy Binks chasing Kyle Williams, both exclusive drivers. With Fezzy Binks on the inside, we're gonna quickly go back, and Williams backing off, not risking it through the second to last corner. So now we're hopping to Mega Daddy in the Lambo with Gamble behind. Gamble, the man that lives in France but doesn't speak a word of French. So he's a survivor, ladies and gentlemen, a survivor. That's why he's so fast, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, as we see Mega Daddy going wide, having a moment. And Gamble going past. What I wanted to say was Gamble is probably so fast. He lives in French, doesn't speak a word of French. So he's using his hands and feet all day to try and communicate. So he's a trained hand and footman, basically. And don't Google that. That's not gonna be good for your sleep tonight. We're gonna be going to Marshall with our resident South African guy just up behind him. Good evening, Zettel. How are you? We do still have these guys though. Gamble, Mega Daddy and Darkblade. Viper, this was the second beer. I just told the beginning of the stream. I told everybody I wanted to start fresh today, so I waited for you all to join me and then open up a few drinks. No, I didn't. Oh, as we see Gamble just sliding off. That's a very tricky corner. He did exactly the same as I did. It's you're going up on the throttle a little bit early, the car starts sliding and you want to catch it, but you're too late. But yes, I know though. We were going on board with Fazzy Binks and to see what he was looking at, and then Kyle Williams went a little bit wide. We switched back to the TV cam and the move happened. But we do see, and I do want to kind of go back here, a gap of 3/10, 6/10. No time to practice, Viper. Yes, indeed. I kind of want to go over here and have a look. Horst Webb in a Porsche today, not in his trusty McLaren. And Damika behind him. We still have Darkblade behind Mega Daddy. Mega Daddy in the Lambo, Darkblade in the BMW behind him. The gap is bigger than we do want to go here though, ladies and gentlemen. We have Marshall being chased by Nin Richard, and Marshall has been passed by Daryl. So these guys, Marshall had a little bit more pace, so Marshall will be looking to get past Daryl again. And Nin Richard, very fast guy, so we do want to keep an eye on this. This train of three could get very exciting. With Andam so far, with 10 minutes into the race, having a gap of 2.5 to Will Friedman in second place. Like I already mentioned, Andam had a very unlucky race yesterday, so he will be happy. He's creating a nice little gap for himself to have a little bit of room for a mistake, or have a little breathing room to take a lap of relaxation before pushing again. Enjoy, Viper. It's Saturday, everybody's enjoying. If you're racing, you're enjoying. If you're drinking and watching the broadcast, you're joining. But as we see, ladies and gentlemen, we see Nin Richard looking around. We're gonna be going on board with Mr. Nin Richard and see what he's looking at. As we saw Moss going wide and Nin Richard going past. Moss losing time, but the thing is, Nin Richard is now behind Daryl, and that's gonna slow him down. That's gonna give Daryl is gonna be needing to defend against Nin Richard, and that's gonna be giving Moss time to get back into the fight and create that little three-way road train again. Will Friedman the same as Endem. Endem is about a little bit further away from Will Friedman than Will Friedman is from Daryl, but they are creating a little gap for themselves that's giving them a bit of breathing room. And these three guys are the guys to follow. With following Nin Richard. Oh, as we see Daryl going wide, coming back in. And we see Moss creeping up. I hope Moss is gonna be closing the gap, because as soon as I think as soon as Nin Richard is going past and he's got some clean air, he's gonna be driving away from Daryl, and then Moss is gonna be left to fight for his own place. As we see Daryl going wide again and having that second turn to the right, you're gonna be having to steer so much and you're losing so much speed. So Nin Richard, it's a very hard corner to just put your car beside someone and yeah, get yourself through. And here we have it, Moss is back in the fight. The fight for P3, ladies and gentlemen. We've got P3, P4 and P5 right behind each other. But we do see NSR Styles slowly but surely trying to creep up on these guys, creating a train. If we're looking in the split, Mega Daddy still in front of Darkblade. These guys have been battling for 2-3 laps now. But Daryl is defending like a lion from the Leeuwenhoek. We do see Marshall Moss getting behind a little bit again, but we have a back marker in the mix, ladies and gentlemen, because that's not a Porsche and that's not the Porsche from oh, as these guys touch a little bit, Nin Richards right up on Daryl's ass. Nin Richard, we're gonna be going on board with Nin Richard, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys are having fun. Is it fun? Is it frustration? Is it the wish to get past someone? But if things get nervous, if things get tricky, it's very, very nice to be on board. And we have, of course, still Marshall Moss behind. Next corner is a possible overtake if Daryl makes a mistake, so we will be ready for that. And I have my hand on the TV cam if something is gonna be happening. Quick look at Moss behind. Very, very close as well. And we do not want to make this a one or three car show, but we're seeing Fezzy Binks creeping up on him. We are seeing Kyle just a little bit behind, so I'm very, very curious when is Fezzy Binks gonna be coming into the mix. And while this battle is going on, we are quickly going to see what this gap is looking like. Mar Jordan versus Damika. And then we're gonna be switching back. Whoa, whoa, very, very close. With Mar Jordan going wide and Damika making the move, defending really, really hard until the edges of the track. And Daryl still in P3, Nin Richard still behind. And Marshall Moss behind him, but we see Fezzy Binks made up 2/10 this lap, 2/10. So Fezzy Binks is starting to creep up on Mr. Marshall Moss. We see Daryl making a mistake for real this time, and that's he's coming back though in front. In front, Nin Richard and Marshall Moss very, very close together. If this is, well, I was gonna say this can be enjoyment or it's gonna end up in tears, but Fezzy Binks has closed the gap, and we see Kyle Williams behind as well. A 5-man train, ladies and gentlemen. We will be sticking here. We're gonna be going to Marshall Moss, right bang smack in the middle of this group of 5. And we will be following this. Marshall Moss sticking his nose up inside Nin Richard, but not making the move. Nin Richard just ahead of Marshall. Marshall taking a look. Fezzy Binks and Kyle Williams has catched back up to Fezzy Binks as well. So we have a train over here that's 1.3, just over 1.5 seconds behind Daryl. There's a train of 4 cars. Oh, Marshall on the inside, and Richard just saw him just on time, and Marshall, is he gonna make the move? You gotta have a couple of balls. It's a little understeery corner and you gotta make it, but Nin Richard and Marshall. Helicam, ladies and gentlemen. It's like it's a first lap corner. 5 guys, very, very close together. If we're looking through the fields, we have Darkblade ahead of El Criso, 8/10, and then we have Gamble Jungle in front of Jasper, 7/10 ahead. But we do not want to miss out. I know what's gonna happen. We are broadcasting more races. As soon as we're gonna be switching from this group, something is gonna happen and we're gonna be missing it. So we are sticking with this group. Look at him. Daryl, Nin Richard, Marshall Moss, Fezzy Binks, Kyle Williams, all in one camera. We're gonna be giving Marshall Moss some more airtime tonight because he's in the middle. We can see all the way from Daryl to Kyle Williams what is happening in this group. We see Nin Richard creeping up onto Daryl once again. Daryl made a couple of mistakes, but until now, even with the mistakes and a little bit of We're broadcasters, so we can say it, but a little bit of cutting to stay ahead. But as long as you don't have track limit, why don't you? We're gonna be going to Nin Richard. He's a little bit closer to Daryl than Marshall is to them, and Fezzy Binks. With that Porsche, oh. Getting into the mix. Blue flagged car. Not the best way to let people pass, but you don't have to get off the track to let people pass. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. All in all, Daryl has gotten away a little bit. The rest of the gaps are pretty much the same. So all in all, it worked out fine. But Mr. Marshall, Daryl is driving away a little bit again, and we have Marshall in the sandwich, Nin Richard and Fezzy Binks. Don't know if he ever had a sandwich in his life, but he does have one tonight. Sticking right up on the bumper of Nin Richard. Not having a look this time. Taking a look does cost you time, ladies and gentlemen. Taking a look is just to make the other guy nervous. So as long as you can stay on your line is always going to be better than alternating and trying to have a look, getting back on your line, unsettling the car. But yeah, you can of course always have a look, show your nose. But be prepared that if somebody's following you, having a look at the guy in front of you is possibly gonna be giving the guy behind you a possibility for an overtake. We're 25 minutes on the way, 24, 25. So we've got still more than an hour to go. As we saw Nin Richard taking up a little bit dirt. Going over the curb a little bit. And we have more blue flags coming up. We're gonna be going to Daryl and see what these guys will be doing. It's a BMW or a Lexus. A Lexus and a Mustang. Lexus and a Mustang. Am I correct? Here we have a Lexus King ZA. Is that him? That's him. And where do we have the Mustang? Is that Mr. Cultus? Yes, it is. We have Mr. Cultus and we have Mr. King ZA in the mix. Oh, and that was Cultus having a little moment. And what's happening to Marshall? They are getting past. Fezzy Binks, Kyle Williams. And Daryl for the most part. Around this, oh, the Lexus and then Richard. It's so hectic. It's like I'm driving the car myself, but I'm not a top 3 driver. But yeah, very exciting. The Lexus almost coming to a full stop this time. With Kyle Williams still behind. So Kyle Williams is gonna be the next guy that's gonna be having to have a little patience. But he's stopping. King ZA is doing a great job. It got a little excited, but Nonetheless, great job. Everybody survived. We're still in the same train. Here we go. Mr. Marshall still in the sandwich. And these guys, we have Mr. Quagga and Manser Croder. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm gonna be looking through the field for these gaps, we want to stick here. We want to stay here. This is where the fun is happening. This is what the show is. We have Endem in P1 driving away from Will Friedman 14 seconds ahead. And Will Friedman is 7.5 seconds ahead of this whole group of 5. And then we can make the choice, of course, to watch a one-on-one battle behind in the midfield or even in the back of the pack. But my guess is everybody would like to see what's gonna be happening over here with these 5 guys. Mega Daddy. Yes, but the thing is, as we see Nin Richard and Marshall Moss having a moment together. Marshall Moss was the 3rd guy in the sandwich, is now the 5th guy in the sandwich. Moss is not gonna be liking this, Nin Richard is not gonna be liking that, I'm sure of it. It's the things that happen when you're racing this close for so many laps. But this makes the way free for Fezzy Binks to close the gap to Nin Richard and Marshall Moss. As soon as these guys get behind Daryl and get behind Nin Richard, Marshall Moss, without a doubt, with a couple of blisters on his tires, will be closing off the train of 5 again. But Mr. Mega Daddy, yeah, if something happened, Mr. Squid, I'm not a steward, of course. I mean, it's good you tell us here, but make sure to also get your replays, make a report, and let the stewards decide. So, letting everybody know you need to watch out is okay, of course. Yeah, we do want drama, but I don't want to. Yeah, like I said, we do want to follow these guys, because as soon as we will be switching, if I was looking at Mega Daddy when you said it, we wouldn't have seen Nin Richard and Moss having their moments. So this battle of 5 is what we're sticking with, and it's not that I want to bore you all, but I think we all agree we wanna see some action. Oh, Fezzy Binks, last corner on the outside, Nin Richard. Very close. It's a long time since, or at least for me, it's a long time since I had a broadcast with 5 guys so close to each other for, what is it now? Half an hour. We have already had guys battling each other from the first lap with cold tires, starting with cold tires, and these guys, I believe Fezzy Binks didn't have a great qualifying, Kyle Williams didn't have a great qualifying, but they're moving up through the field, and they will for sure be trying to get at least a podium for Fezzy or Kyle to finish off that 1, 2, 3 exclusive podium on the Endurance tonight. Good job. At least I'm doing something good tonight, Squid. Don't be telling anybody else that, because they won't believe you. But we see, of course, what I was telling you guys about. As soon as these guys, Fezzy Binks, oh, Nin Richard having a very unstable rear end, and Fezzy Binks on the inside for the next left-hander. Nin Richard having to stay in the middle, and Fezzy Binks possibly not gonna happen, but I was gonna say possibly having a better exit run towards the second to last in the last corner. But Velocity car on the podium. Yeah. Idodo is rooting for what I believe is Nin Richard, right? Nin Richard for P3. With Nin Richard now in P3, but Endem already having done his pit stop. So but I think this is a little bit of glitch in the game. I don't know if you see that on the stream, but the guys are glitching left and right, front and back a little bit. You gotta tell him, Idodo. Get in his DM. Get in his DM and tell him. And we see Marshall Moss having passed Kyle Williams. We missed that, ladies and gentlemen, on the stream. But Marshall Moss making his way back to his place behind Nin Richard. Moss on the hunt for Fezzy Binks. Yeah, Skinny Boy and Mega Daddy. Yeah. Don't Google that either, Skinny Boy and Mega Daddy. There's a lot of stuff I say you shouldn't Google, ladies and gentlemen. But wouldn't it be fun if they had an incident? Yeah. I don't know what the incident was, but good luck to them. Wouldn't it be funny for and now I'm taking liberties, right? Clort is still on vacation, he's not listening to me, I'm just taking liberties. Wouldn't it be fun if we see Skinny Boy going up in the Discord and saying Mega, you royally fucked me? Something like that? That's fucking bullshit, of course, but yeah, that's gonna be, I'm gonna be laughing my ass off if something like that's gonna happen. As we see Daryl still ahead of Nin Richard, Fezzy Binks and Marshall having a little bit bigger of a gap. Fezzy Binks has literally taken Marshall's place behind Nin Richard. About the same gap, and Nin Richard still the same gap behind that. Daryl is doing a great job, but Daryl being South African, I bet he probably maybe grew up in the back garden of this track called Kyalami. I could even talk Dutch to Daryl, I think, and he'd understand me. Oh, Nin Richard having a look again by Daryl. But Nin Richard, Daryl is really and truly doing a great job at keeping these guys behind. I think as soon as Daryl slips up, these guys will be driving away. And as we always say, and I'm gonna say it again, I sound like an old grandma that's remembering of your chores every day. But being faster isn't it. You gotta make the move. Oh, Marshall, the inside of Fezzy. Great move by Marshall. And Fezzy for noticing Marshall making the move. Fezzy was feeling a little bit too comfortable over there. And Marshall capitalized on it. Marshall on his way to claim his spot behind Nin Richard again. While the gaps are a little bit bigger, we will be going to watch Gamble Jungle. But the gap is 5/10, it's a little bit more than it's showing. We do not have any major battles on the track. We have NSR Styles and Darkblade. I believe they're still in the same order as we've been looking at a couple of laps earlier. But look at this, and I'm just telling it to you all. We've got Will Friedman 10 seconds ahead of this group. Then we have the group of 5, and then we have NSR Styles, from what I saw just then, about 16-17 seconds behind this group of 5. So these guys, with 5 of them battling, are effectively still running away from P7 behind them. And of course we have Endem, the guy that was in P1 and was about 12 seconds ahead of 14 seconds ahead of Will Friedman, what I believe, making his way through the field but in traffic. So maybe Friedman, having clean air and getting a good couple of laps in, will be coming out of the pit lane before Endem. But I think Will Friedman is gonna be driving along for at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes more, and then he's gonna be pitting. Yeah, you know what it is, I Dodo. I think Fezzi, or not just Fezzi, I think Marshall saw a gap that was there and went for it. I don't think they would have crashed, but with a more aggressive driver like you, I mean, you are also pretty aggressive if you're fighting for positions. I think Fezzi is not too gentle, but Fezzi likes to survive, I think, and Fezzi likes to be a little bit more conservative. I think you gotta know who you're fighting, and them being both exclusive, I think they know that. But you've been driving a long time too, so they should know you're a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, I think Fezzi is trying to survive and maybe get a little bit more clean air later in the race. But what are Fezzi and Kyle gonna do? Will Friedman is in the pit lane, so he wasn't gonna be going on for 10 or 15 more minutes. Will Friedman wants to see what he's been doing, possibly if he had enough clean air to come right back on the ass of Endem. So we will be Will Friedman is off the jacks, and where is Endem? Lost a lot of time. Endem coming up on the last corner right now, and Friedman is already out of the pit lane. So Will Friedman did a great job staying out longer than Endem. Will Friedman now P1 and Endem virtually on P2. Then we have Daryl now in P1, but Nin Richards second behind, Marshall Moss 6/10 behind, and Fezzi Binks 2 seconds behind with Kyle Williams on his ass. But this group is falling apart a little bit, and if I'm gonna be doing a prediction, and my predictions 90% of the time are not true, these guys will be driving back to each other and possibly just taking a little breath of fresh air before starting to do their pit stops and going to battle again. Fezzi Binks going into the pit lane right now, Marshall going into the pit lane right now, and we have Daryl driving on, Nin Richard driving on, and Kyle Williams. So Marshall and Fezzi is gonna be interesting. There we have Fezzi. I think Moss's pit box is a little bit earlier, so we're gonna stay with Fezzi, and we're gonna see Marshall Moss possibly moving past Fezzi, or Fezzi must have a better pit stop. And here we go Marshall, there we go Fezzi, with Marshall in my opinion having a little better pit stop than Fezzi. And this group has fallen apart a little bit, but don't be surprised if these guys will be countering those pit stops and pitting earlier than they possibly wanted to. While I let my dog back inside, of course. Can't leave that baby outside the whole night, right? we're gonna see what Nin Richard is gonna do. Coming up onto the crocodile, going through the crocodile, up on the hill, having that fast right-hander, and going into the pit lane or not. He is continuing, and I believe we saw Daryl going into the pit lane. So this is Nin Richard moments. Not stuck behind Daryl. Capitalize on it. Get some laps. Get 2, 3, 4 laps of clean air and get that baby going. Make a pit stop and see where you end up. Because Daryl is possibly gonna be falling back between a couple of guys that are blue flagged or still having to do their pit stop. So this is Nin Richard's moment. And where is Marshall? Marshall is also ahead of Endam. So we're gonna be looking at this Endam with raw pace being faster than Marshall, but raw pace isn't overtaking. So let's see what's gonna be happening over here. The Mustang is a beast on the straight though. And Marshall might think to himself, Endam, we do not want to make it too hard to ourselves, so just pass me. But it is all for podium positions, ladies and gentlemen, so you might as well think, hey, it's the same team, but do you want to get P1 or do I want to get P1? Like, I would know what I would do. And if you're fighting for podiums, fighting for podium positions, you can fuck off with your team orders and we're just gonna be driving. But I think Marshall is being the nice guy over here, letting Endam go without much of a struggle. I'm very, very curious. Nin Richard still doing one more lap, so that's a second clean lap for him. No traffic all the way ahead of him, and Kyle Williams is following. I think Mr. Moss is the Checo Perez to my Max Verstappen at this moment. But nonetheless, Endam had a lot of pace though. A lot of pace. So you might be thinking, do I want to fight that and lose time? Or do I want to drive my own race with Daryl still in the mix and Nin Richard not having had his pit stop? Do you want to lose time? Because you also want to pass Nin Richard. So it's a whole, and I'm not some kind of professor or something, but it's a whole kind of game you're playing, right? Do you want to fight with Endam, or do you want to fight for that P3 and Endam already being faster? All kinds of mad flying through your head at those moments. As we have Daryl in front of Endam, and I'm sure, ladies and gentlemen, Daryl is of course not exclusive, and Daryl wants to fight for positions. He has been defending 4 cars, and now it's Endam behind him. So what are we gonna be looking at? Daryl versus Endam. How is this gonna be turning out? Endam looking to redeem himself for yesterday's Spa race. Daryl trying to secure that P2, P3 position.
We are halfway through. Keep pushing.
And 45 minutes left. We're gonna be going on board with Endam, ladies and gentlemen. Daryl, the McLaren, they are stuck behind the BMW. BMW. Oh, I was gonna say he was gonna move out of the way, but he did turn back in. And I'm ready to be switching back to TV cam, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, we're staying on board. Daryl on the inside and them on the outside. Daryl is not gonna be making this easy. But Endem is already passed. You gotta give it to him. Endem is a pretty good driver in that Mustang. Beast of a driver, beast of a car. What can go wrong? And Will Friedman. We do want to see a split time, ladies and gentlemen. Split time. A split reset. 13 seconds behind Will Friedman. So the game is on. 45 minutes to go. And within the first 30 minutes, I believe, Endem was driving away 14 seconds from Friedman. So game on for Endem, on his way to chase Friedman down for P1. And we have, and this is good to see, right? We left, everybody started pitting, but now we have Nin Richard, Marshall Moss and Fezzy Binks. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody done their pit stops. And we see Marshall on the inside at Nin Richard. Oh, little bumper car game over. Oh, Nin Richard losing out. And into the pit lane. So that's Nin Richard done. Bumper cars coming out of the first corner, touching once, touching twice, and then going up the hill towards the third corner. They hit each other again, and that's Nin Richard sadly spinning out. It would have been so nice to keep that battle going till the end of the race. And now we have Marshall Moss 2 seconds behind Daryl. 2 seconds behind Daryl. Daryl just coming up, a BMW in between him, and then it's Marshall Moss, Fezzy Binks, and Kyle Williams, of course. The same 4 guys, with Nin Richard just having fallen away from the fight. I don't know if he forced him, I don't know. I don't know if he forced him. I think there was room for 2 cars, but yeah, that curb, I do agree with you. The shit curb, you bang over it, you lose total control, and yeah, the only way to go is straight forward. In fact, yeah, if we're speaking plainly, the only way to go is straight forward. If you hit that curb, no steering anymore. I know you don't want to be on the curb. I know, it's a very shitty curb. You wanna just slightly, if you're already like past the beginning, you can touch it slightly. But if you take that curb from the front, basically, when it starts, you're just gonna be flying up. Yeah, you need that. He could have possibly pushed Marshall back to the left a little bit, but yeah. I think it was an unfortunate incident. I think they both, from broadcasting perspectives, I think they both wanted to go keep that fight going. Because they have been driving so nicely the whole race. I definitely don't think this was an intended thing, because yeah, I do agree. Like, you don't fight a Max Verstappen with a Liam Lawson, basically. You don't do that. But I'm very, very curious. Is now that Nin Richard has sadly gone away. I don't watch. No, no. I'm the broadcaster. I don't know. I'm giving you guys entertainment. I'm not gonna be judging. If incidents happen, I'm gonna try and show it to you. I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna say, you shouldn't do that. I'm the classroom teacher over here. No, no, no. That's not me. I'm here for the entertainment. Let's go. Everything I say will be used against me. No, 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 no. Nothing will be used against me. But I do have some form of free speech, and everything that happens on stream stays on the stream. But I am very, very curious. Marshall Moss now 2 seconds behind Daryl, and Endam. If we get that split. If we get that split between Will Friedman and Endam with a couple of minutes to go. 12 seconds. 12 seconds. So I'm gonna be trying math, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna be trying math. We have 37 minutes. We're gonna divide that by 12. No, I'm lying. We're gonna be dividing that by the lap time. 37 minutes divided by the lap time of about 1.41 is still should be about between 1.5-2 seconds a lap, if I'm correct. That Endam is gonna have to be gaining on Will Friedman. If I'm correct, right? Will Friedman makes a mistake. What I did just now is the minutes, and if somebody is a mathematician over here, please enlighten me. I did 37 minutes divided by the lap time, and then I divide that answer by 12 seconds. So if that's the math I'm mathing, if that's correct or not correct, just let me know. Tinus is Switzerland. Yes, yes. I let the hard decisions over to the stewards. Viper being one of them. So Viper, you can go to work. So enjoy those ciders. I think someone's gonna be calling you to be reviewing some incidents later tonight when you had a couple. And while we were mathing and thinking and talking about the incident with Nin Richard, we missed Fezzy Binks overtaking Marshall Moss. But we do have Daryl 2.9 ahead of Fezzy. I'm very, very curious if Daryl can keep this up for another 35 minutes. But with these gaps a little bit bigger right now, we have Mr. Mark Jordan and Hushed Webb in the Porsche. So we're switching away from the front. We are now looking at a battle for P14. Mark Jordan in the McLaren and Hushed Webb chasing in the yellow-black Porsche. And we're gonna do another quick onboard, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna be going onboard with Hushed Webb to see what he's looking at. Fight for P14. And we're gonna keep an eye on the splits here. As we see Endam 10 seconds. Endam is gaining time quickly, ladies and gentlemen. He is gaining a lot of time. We're gonna be looking at the timetables. Will Friedman, last lap. 1:42.2 for Friedman. And then we're gonna be going to Mr. Endam with a last lap of 1:44.4. So Endam is making up at least a second a lap. Second a lap with a 1:40 per lap. 1:42. That's with 10 seconds, 10 laps to go. 10 laps to go. So that's for, what is that? 10, 140, 14, 15, 15 minutes? 15, yeah. So in the last 10 minutes, I'm sure, the last 10 minutes of this race, we're gonna have a Endem versus Friedman. But we're gonna be counting in some back markers and stuff like that. So the last 5 to 10 minutes, Endem should be on the backside of Mr. Will Friedman. As we see these guys coming too. Mr. EMP in the purple Porsche and DGP Winkley NL, a Dutch driver. And what are we gonna say then? Come up, Klootzak. Come on, Klootzak. It's about the same as come on, you a-hole. And I don't know what Xbox Live Player was doing there, but he let him pass like he was a blue flag, but he isn't. .2, 2.9 it was for Fezzy to Daryl. And Fezzy has closed the gap by a second now, so 1.8. So Fezzy is gained a second in the last 2 laps. With Kyle Williams staying close to Mr. Marshall. We see Fezzy Binks in the distance. And then a little bit further away we see Mr. Daryl. And the time for Endem is resetting. Are we gonna see a 9.2, 9.0? 1 lap further, a second a lap, 9.8. Still on his way to give us a battle at the end though. With Kyle getting very, very close to Marshall's backside. We're gonna be going to Mr. Winkley NL with Xbox Live Player. But Xbox Live Player is already further away than the split told us. Roydy is possibly chasing Xbox Live Player. Not even. So we're gonna be switching back to Kyle Williams behind Marshall Moss. And we do see Fezzy Binks still 1.9. So Fezzy Binks is not gaining a lot on Daryl at the moment. And for Endem we still have a 9.9. 9.9 behind Friedman. That's why I always tell in the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, doing early pit stops is good when you're, or in my opinion, it's a personal opinion and everybody can differ in that. It's always a point of debate. But in my opinion, an early pit stop when you're at the front is killing for your race. And being at the back of the pack, you might want to do it a little bit earlier. So you get all the, once the quick guys start lapping you, you might want to think about doing your pit stop to let the most of them past, then getting out of the pit lane and having a little bit of fresh air again. The point is, it's not gonna help you too much. It's gonna help you for a little bit, but not too much, because when you're already being passed by the guys in the front, doing an early pit stop is gonna let all of the midfield is gonna be catching up to you. So yeah, doing a late pit stop might be good, but if you're on the slower end of the grid, to say it bluntly, you are almost always fucked, because you're gonna have faster guys already passing you. You're gonna have oh damn, we see Marshall Moss moving out of the way for Kyle Williams. Did something happen between them? But we have Fezzy Binks closing in on Daryl. 1.6, and we have 9.1 for Endam. 28 minutes to go. I'm gonna be matting again, and my mat is the worst of them all. So we have 28 minutes divided by 1.41 is 19, divided by 9 is 2.2. Yeah, it's gonna be very, very tough, I think, for Endam to come close at this rate. But you never know, never say never. And like I say, my mat isn't the best, so I might be counting wrong as well. And here we have Moss again on the backside of Kyle. Daryl 6.3, 1.3 for Fezzy. And what's this gap gonna be looking like? 7 tenths Moss behind Kyle. We're gonna be going to Fezzy. We're gonna be following Fezzy around. We're gonna be doing an onboard. When he gets up to the last corner, we're gonna go onboard with Fezzy for a round of Kyalami in race trim. So with no major battles going on, as soon as Fezzy is gonna hit the last corner, we're gonna be going into the cockpit camera and we're gonna watch Fezzy do a lap of Kyalami. 17 laps to go, with about 8.7 the gap between Endam and Friedman. That's gonna be at least 6-7 tenths a lap he's gonna have to gain to 6-7-8 tenths a lap he needs to gain. But here we go, a lap of Kyalami on board with Fezzy, with no major battles going on. We're gonna be sticking in his cockpit view for a lap in race trim at Kyalami. That's a lap of Kyalami, ladies and gentlemen. We saw Fezzy going wide, or braking a little bit late at the hairpin. and all the time he gained was lost in one braking zone. So that's Kyalami for you. If you brake wrong, or any track for that matter, all the time you gain a little bit of mistake, and you can start all over. The reflections, yes, it's good in the night. You also have, we can switch quickly back. If you're gonna be sitting a little bit further back, let me see. You have that infrared light that's always showing in the cockpit. It's pretty fun. It's not visible for the driver, of course. We as humans can't see infrared, but for the broadcasters and the cameras inside the cockpit, it makes everything visible. So we see Fezzi back to 1.3 behind Daryl. Daryl, from the whole group of 5 in the beginning, did the first pit stop, I believe. So Daryl is gonna have 2 or 3 laps older tires than Fezzi does. So that's probably maybe, you never know for sure, but probably gonna be helping Fezzi in the later stages in this race. Let's say the last 10 to 5 minutes. Fezzi just a second behind, and these blue flags possibly help Fezzi to gain time more quickly on Daryl. It could cost you a lot, or it could help you a lot. And with the last 20 minutes almost on the way, Fezzi might be becoming a little bit more aggressive than he has been this whole race. He's been pretty patient, he's been pretty careful, but with the last couple of minutes, or the last 20 minutes coming up, he might be wanting to get his elbows out a little bit. And we see Amica and Manguela Cervera. I love that name, Cervera. I think with my Dutch language, I think that Cervera or Cerveza is the only Spanish thing I can speak out good enough to actually sound like a Spanish guy. But I'm totally not. I'm 100% Dutch, ladies and gentlemen. So don't get your hopes up. I'm Dutch. But here we have Daryl. And Fezzi Binks 0.8 of a second, ladies and gentlemen. He's making up good time. With the Mustang. Oh, Fezzi. Yeah. We're gonna survive. We're gonna survive. We're gonna be going on board with Fezzi, ladies and gentlemen. Fezzi is making up good time. We're gonna be going on board, and again with Fezzi, we're gonna be seeing how he's chasing down Daryl for P3. And look at the gap between Will Friedman and Endam. 7.2 seconds with 19 minutes to go. So the last 5 to 10 minutes, I mean, I don't want to say I'm the new professor of XCL, but the last 5 to 10 minutes might be coming through. Daryl going a bit deep into the braking zone. Fezzy making up good time. And now it's time for the TV cam, ladies and gentlemen. What are we gonna be looking at? Outside for Fezzy, inside for Daryl. Daryl having a worse line, Fezzy possibly coming up. Oh, Daryl keeping the inside. I was gonna say Fezzy possibly coming up on the inside with a little slingshot, but not gonna happen. Daryl unsettled over the curbs and Fezzy taking it much more cleanly. Right up the backside of Daryl. Last 18 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Daryl has been holding off these guys for at least 45 minutes, 40 minutes before Nin Richard got booted out and the pit stops already happened. But Fezzy has been quite the gentleman driver for the good part of this race. What is Fezzy gonna be doing? Almost in the last 15 minutes of this race. Fezzy trying to have a look. And we see behind him, we see Kyle Williamson behind a blue flag car. We're gonna be going on board with Mr. Daryl, but we're gonna be looking to the backside of Daryl to see what Fezzy is doing. You gotta love it. In the night you see those back flames coming out of the exhausts pretty clearly. And here we are with Fezzy behind Daryl. And they're doing a very good job to let that sausage on the second to last curb on the inside to let it be what it is. Because if you hit that thing, you're gonna be race over at this point. A mini recap. Oh, and we see Daryl going very wide. Very wide and outbraking himself completely, going straight into the first corner. And Marshall Moss on his backside. Fezzy past Daryl. Kyle past Daryl. And Marshall right up the ass or even past Daryl. Still behind Daryl. So that's Fezzy Binks going past T1. Kyle Williams going past T1. And Marshall Moss was losing out a little bit on pace, but one mistake from Daryl and Marshall is back on his backside, basically. But Mr. Dabbing Llama, I'm doing the dab right now. I'm dabbing. Doing the Fortnite dab behind my laptop. I think this race is having enough action for a possible mini recap of tomorrow. Not more than 7 or 10 minutes. I can try and take the best bits, and yeah, I think we have enough action to make a new little recap. it's quite funny or quite interesting to see, right? We had Fezzy being very close behind Daryl at one point. He made a mistake at the hairpin and lost all the time gained on Daryl in one braking zone. And then you're catching back up, you're applying the pressure. It's also for Daryl, right? It's not just Fezzy who's thinking we got 15-20 minutes left, I gotta make a move. It's also Daryl thinking this guy is on my backside, we've got so little time left. I'm gonna be braking as late as possible, I'm gonna keep my pace as high as possible. But everybody knows what the time is looking like, and everybody is gonna be adapting to that time. As my dog needs to go outside again and inside again. I'm happy I don't have a kid, but sometimes I think like my dog is needing more attention than a kid itself. And Marshall Moss is falling back again, but we have Fezzy Binks and Kyle Williams have been driving in this order for most of the race, but they're back on the backside of each other. And if we're looking at the gap between Friedman and Enden, we've got 5 seconds between them and 11 minutes to go. So that's gonna be more than half a tenth a lap, in my opinion, or maybe even more a lap. It's almost 2 minutes a lap, and it's 5 seconds, so that's gonna be a hard job for Enden to make Friedman nervous. I'm very curious what these guys are gonna be doing. Fezzy Binks, Kyle Williams, what will they be doing in these last couple of minutes? Will they be fighting like they're not teammates? Will they be driving to the finish line like this? Because at the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we've got exclusive number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then number 5 is Daryl, and 6 is another exclusive. So yeah, it would be great to see Fezzy. And this race total is Mr. Ditch Doctor. This race total was 90 minutes. 90 minutes, and then it's of course a 10-minute practice, a 15-minute qualifying, and a 19-minute race. So 90. So you're looking at about 2 hours worth of racing in total. But we're having Roydy over here, and I believe, who is this? It can only be one. It's Enden. I was looking at Roydy and Mr. King ZA, but the gap is bigger than we expected. Not anymore though, with Enden making the move on Roydy. King ZA and Roydy are back fighting. King ZA in the Lexus, Roydy in front in the BMW, fighting for P18. And we still have Endam 3.5 away. Endam is making up very good time. I'm gonna be trying to mat again. I'm gonna be trying to be a professor. 3.5. We've got 8 minutes left. We got 1.41.5. Is that times 3.5 from 1.6? Yeah, this is gonna be. It's gonna be heavy for Endam, but we're gonna be keeping an eye on the split for sure. 3.0, and for Kyle Williams behind Fezzy Binks it's 1.3, and we have Marshall Moss behind Daryl with some blue flags in the mix, so Marshall Moss could be making moves if he can just keep it up. If Marshall Moss can get a little bit of that magic back from the first half an hour, 40 minutes, he can make it very difficult for Daryl. The fastest lap. Oh, I didn't want to do this. I wanted to go to the timetables. The fastest lap is Endam with a 140.4 in race trim. That's pretty good. If you're doing a 139.8, 140.0 in qualifying with a 40.4 fastest lap, and 140, 140, 140, 40, 40, 40, 41, 41, 42, 41, and that's with. You do notice, right? You're staying in the 40s, and as soon as you're gonna be encountering traffic, you see those lap times dropping by a second. So in race trim, that's a pretty good pace. Oh! That was Marshall Moss with a back marker, and Daryl driving on. We just see the last bit of it. We just seen the last bit of it, looking at the times of Endam. Damn, and this is exactly why I don't want to do this shit while we're racing. I don't want to switch. I don't want to do things, but you do it because there's nothing happening, and as soon as you do, something does happen. Marshall Moss, lonely race, but still, if I'm not mistaken, we have Kyle Williams and Daryl. So Daryl, something happened to Kyle Williams as well, and Marshall Moss. Were Marshall Moss and Williams together in that instant? I'm gonna have to watch the stream back because we can see the liveries, we can see the splits. I'm gonna have to watch that stream back, but I'm sure we're gonna be seeing something in the Discord. But we had two cars flipping off. I don't think it was Kyle though, because Moss got off easily and the other car was still in the barriers, and Kyle is in front of Moss, so I don't think it was those two, but I'm sure Kyle had an issue as well. And we're having 3.50 to go, ladies and gentlemen. We have 2.2 for Endam. I kind of want to wait one more lap. I kind of want to wait one more lap for switching to Endem and going on board with him in his charge towards Will Friedman. Because if that's gonna happen, we are gonna be definitely looking at that. We have here El Criso and Jasper, but the split is lying to us, so we are going back to Daryl. Fezzy Binks is gone. Daryl is way further behind. And then we have Kyle Williams behind Daryl, 1.4 seconds behind, and at least 1.40. And then starting another lap. I think 2 laps left for these guys. Two laps left. 1.8 for Endem, ladies and gentlemen. We're keeping an eye on this. We're keeping an eye on this. 2 laps left. 2 laps left. 1.8 for Endem. And 2.0 for Endem. I'm very curious. We're gonna be going to the timetables. We're gonna be looking at what Will Friedman is running these last couple of laps. The last 5 laps or so. Last 5 laps for Will Friedman is 142.4, 142.4, 142. Let's say 142 for Will Friedman. Then we're gonna be going to Mr. Endem. 142. That's gonna be for Endem. 141, 144. Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for Endem to get onto the backside of Will Friedman. I think this is gonna be a Will Friedman in the bag. But Endem has been truly driving his ass off tonight. If Endem isn't sweating tonight, I'm not gonna believe it. And it's still 1.3 for Daryl, so Daryl is gonna be possibly, if he can keep this up, they're coming up on, or almost coming up onto the Crocodile. Going into the last 3 corners, a leader on final lap. These guys are going to be doing one more lap. 1.3, 1.5 for Kyle Williams. Massa has been falling back 5.5 due to that incident with what I thought was a back marker. And 1.8 for Endem in the last lap. Endem is not gonna be making this up. We are here with Will Friedman, and then in the back of the camera we see of course Endem chasing Friedman down. But you never know what's gonna happen. 1.6. We're gonna stay on board with or here we're not going on board, we're staying on the TV cam with Will Friedman to see what Endem is gonna do. Is Will Friedman gonna be nervous, or is he gonna be bringing it home? Oh, yep, that's Kutorm, I believe. Kutorm making room, but this is Will Friedman last corner. Endem on his backside through the last corner, but these guys are 1-2. Will Friedman in 1.
The leader has finished the race.
And Endem in P2. Endem going into the wall. Probably being done with the race itself. But Yeah, and then stopped early, got into traffic, lost about 17, 18 position, and fought his way back through the field from 18 to second, with Moss giving him a easy pass. And there we have Fezzy Binks coming in third. Fezzy Binks, very solid race. Didn't have the quality he wanted, I believe, and still came back into first. Then we have Daryl finishing off in P4, Kyle Williams P5, and Moss, even with the incident, finishing in P6. And here we have Gamble coming up on the second to last corner. Cheetah, I believe, and then it's through the last corner and up to the finish line, coming home in 7th. Doing a little spin and slipping his way onto the pit exit. So we have our top 3 guys. I just want to give him a shout out for Will Friedman. Didn't have the pace on race pace alone, had a great pit stop and finished in P1. Then we had Endem, great race pace, didn't have such a good stop, P2. And then we have Fezzy Binks with an all around great race, great pace, great pit stop, and due to incidents with others and own race finesse, made it to P3 on the podium. So that's the race done, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I do want to thank everybody who watched, and I will be trying to, because we had a lot of action. I do want to thank everybody again, and I will be trying to make a recap of today's endurance. I don't know if it's gonna be ready tomorrow or on Monday, but I will definitely be trying to make a little recap. And yeah, all I can say now is thank you for watching, and have a great day. We're gonna be closing down the stream, and I hope you all enjoyed, and see you all next time. But no, we're gonna be waiting. Before I go, I do want to say tomorrow, no broadcast from me. Tomorrow you all gotta tune in to Marshall Moss himself. He is gonna be streaming GTMR. Tomorrow is his day, and tomorrow I'm off. So I want to see you all tomorrow in Moss's stream, in the broadcast of the GTMR race, and then you will see me Monday again. So for the last time, thank you all, and see you next time. Peace.